I'd love for you to disagree with what I'm saying or just share your thoughts
Hmm.
based on what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think it was in Sapiens where you wrote about how the world is moving back to what it historically was. You said that Russia traditionally had the system of czars, and we're seeing Putin as the czar.
Yeah.
The Chinese Empire was all about expansion, and that's what we're seeing. Um, I believe, and this might be my bias as an Indian, but India was in some ways like one of the key teachers to the world. We had universities like Nalanda, Takshashila, which attracted Asian travelers, and knowledge was carried away from India into other cultures as well. This is what we're told while growing up here. Do you believe that India is kind of going back to that reality? Because that's what I would like to believe in terms of spreading spiritual wisdom. Like Yuval Harari also had an SN Goenka to guide him through Vipassana.
Yeah.
And you've become one of the biggest thought leaders in the world today. But, there was that element of India in your
Yes, absolutely.
training. Or, even in like cartoons like Samurai Jack, they'll show a part where the hero actually visits India to learn something spiritual and then takes it away for his own mission. That's what I see the role of India as in the future. So there's a couple of questions here. One, do you agree or disagree with what I said? And two, I would love to know your opinion on PM Narendra Modi.
It's not a prediction, it's a decision. It's a decision for India, for the citizens of India, for the leaders of India like Modi, what kind of role they want to play in the world. To be a teacher, to be a guru is a very good role, but you need to adopt it and you need to behave accordingly. And what I sometimes see in India, which is also what I see in my country, in Israel. So also you have Jews who say, yeah, for 2,000 years we've been studying that Judaism was all about religion, of study, of wisdom. But what I see both with Jews in Israel and also in India, that a lot of people say, but because we were so focused on wisdom, on spirituality, and we did not focus enough on power and on military force, then we were conquered and we were exploited and we were suppressed by other people who were focused on power. So we need to learn from this mistake and become more powerful and invest more in the military. And that's choice. That, okay, if you think that military power is what you have to offer the world, then you become less and less of a spiritual leader, and you become more and more like another of these powerful countries that if you want to learn about weapons, you come and learn, but not much else. It's very difficult to do both at the same time. And what you see often is that people learn something new, and in the process, they forget maybe a wisdom that they accumulated over thousands of years. I see it again in my country, in Israel, that in a very short time built one of the most powerful armies in the world and forgot almost all the spiritual lessons that Jews have learned for thousands of years. Everything about compassion, everything about respecting others was completely forgotten. It's now all about military power, all about military force. And in some way, this is such a waste because if you look at ancient Jewish history, so the Jews were conquered by the Romans. The Romans already knew everything about military power. So if the Jews now are just now learning what the Romans already knew 2,000 years ago, it basically means the Jews have wasted 2,000 years on nothing. And I think we need a middle path. Of course, every country should have the power to defend itself, but it would be a shame if in the process people just become obsessed with military power and forget everything else.
Do you think media, content, these things have a role to play in spreading the message of peace, spreading the message of love? Or is this just a hopeful and innocent thought?
No, they have a very important role to play. People's view of the world is shaped by the information they consume. If they consume more and more information, which is full of hate and anger, then their mind will be full of hate and anger. It's as simple as that.
Do you think content creators should be the warriors here, peaceful warriors? That's my utopian reality. Content creators are spreading the message of love and peace.
Uh, that's the ideal, yes. Of course, it should not be naive. I mean, the important thing is to have a complex and truthful view of reality. If you just tell people, all you just need is love and peace and everything will be okay, it will not be okay. Because the world is not so simple. If it was as simple as that, then we would have discovered it already thousands of years ago, and we would be living in a perfect world by now. So reality also contains a lot of pain, a lot of problems and difficulties, and we should not hide them away under this kind of curtain of, oh no, it's just all love and peace. So how to find this balance? This is the difficult thing as an individual human and as an entire nation. That, okay, of course, we need an army to defend ourselves. This is the real world. But how do we avoid becoming just addicted to military force and thinking that this is the only thing? No, it should be part and not the whole.
One of the strong emotions I felt after reading your original trilogy was that I felt that as a content creator and media professional, I would want to carry forward your legacy of spreading your message and uh, helping the world understand itself further. I don't know if I'll be able to do that because you've given so many hours to meditation, so many hours to study, but it's just a strong emotion I felt. What would be your message for those next people who will take the baton from you?
Don't view it as kind of my legacy, or definitely don't kind of sanctify my writings, because my books, like every book, they contain a lot of errors. They contain a lot of lacunae, of things that are missing that I'm not able to see. So just because it's written in one of my books, it doesn't mean it's true. Maybe I made a mistake. And the most important thing is to give time to develop your own mind, to purify and to clarify your own mind
Meditate.
in whichever way it works for you. Again, one of the things I've learned from meditation is how difficult meditation is. And it's not necessarily the ideal, or a specific meditation technique may not be the ideal vehicle for every person. Maybe it works for me, maybe for you a different technique, or going to therapy, or doing sports, or art. There are many different ways to purify and develop our mind. The important thing is you experiment with different things, find what really works for your mind, and then invest in it. It's very, very simple. There are no shortcuts. There is no kind of magic way to suddenly purify and develop your mind. It takes a lot of time. And, part of the problem is that the people who lead the world, they are so busy that they don't have time to develop their mind, to nourish their mind. And then we are led by people with very undeveloped mind. And the people, this is a huge problem, because of course, as a leader, political leader, or cultural leader, there are so many things pressing on your time. And still, the advice is, especially because you're a leader, your responsibility to others is first of all to develop your own mind so you make good decisions on behalf of others.